You're listening to the Overly Confident Podcast with your host, Derek Hyde and Garrett Lay.
Hello and welcome to episode 10 of Overly Confident. That's right, we hit double digits and we're still going strong.
Yes, we are. Today we have a very exciting guest on. He is one of Derek's friends from Philadelphia who is in the comm radio club with him at Penn State, and his name is Andrew Field. He has a YouTube channel. Just if you Google Andrew Field, that's his YouTube channel. He does sports talk, some movie reviews, TV show reviews, and everything like that. So go ahead and subscribe to him if you like what you hear, because you definitely will. And we have a great conversation with him today. We don't talk about food. Instead, we talk about movies. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Welcome back to Overly Confident episode 10. Today we're flipping it over to another Penn State guest. Way better than Garrett's Pitt friends. Just got to throw that little jab in there. Bringing in my friend from school, Andrew Field. He is also a broadcast journalism major, so pressure's on for you to perform well.
That's true.
During the interview.
Yeah, you better not mess this up.
Geez, I feel so much pressure on my shoulders right now.
Yes, so my buddy Andrew does all the comm radio stuff with me. We've got plenty of experience with sports. He's got his own YouTube channel where he does a bunch of movies and entertainment stuff that I personally couldn't do. So, what's the synopsis over that?
Oh, no, I mean, it's just, I just like watching movies and like to think I'm a critic, but I'm not really. So I just like having fun. And it's good because I watch a lot with my brother. So it's like good family bonding time. And, I do that, and then I just do a bunch of, like, fun videos and stuff like that. So it's just a good way for me to kind of flex my creative juices, get that flowing. And, I don't know, it's a good time. Just do it for fun. But actually, I haven't said this to not only the people that I'm working on this with, but I actually have a big project coming out in the fall that I'm gonna start promoting soon, but might as well talk about it real quick. Like, I'm doing a short series, a 5-episode series that is going to take place over the summer. We're starting to film it in the next couple weeks. I'm writing the script in the process of pre-production, so I'm doing a lot of stuff with that and working on the YouTube channel. So it's a lot of good, positive work that I'm starting to churn out, and I think it's going to be really exciting. So I hope a lot of people enjoy it.
Ooh. Cool. What's your YouTube channel called?
My channel is just my name.
Just Andrew Field.
Yeah,
exactly how you think you would spell it.
I haven't thought of any creative name to kind of change it to yet.
That's fair.
I mean, I kind of just want to make my own personal brand about myself right now, but maybe in the future I change it and rebrand it. I'm going to start doing some more stuff with kind of changing up the channel and creating some new things. But for right now, I just kind of wanted it to be kind of myself and, what I like to do. I like watching movies. I like TV. I love sports, obviously. So, and I love film. So, and I like creating film. And that's something that people who may know me may not have known that I kind of like doing that and like creating stuff like that. And I'm really starting to get into that. So it'll really be an interesting introduction to what my kind of style is and how that kind of is going to be seen by other people.
Yeah, cool. So
I didn't even know about this short series. Can we get any more info on it? Like what's it about? Anything
plot?
Like that?
Fiction, nonfiction?
So it's a murder mystery story.
Okay.
And takes place in a fictional town. In the summer, and it's about a group of friends who kind of are united through an event and are kind of brought through together and go on these adventures and kind of run into a lot of trouble, but also have a lot of fun along the way. So it's going to be a lot of comedic moments, but also a lot of serious and heartfelt moments as well. So I'm really excited to kind of get going on it, and it's been in the process. I've been working on this for months now, but I've really started ramping up the writing the past month and a half. So I'll definitely post a lot of stuff on it, and everyone will kind of get to know about it as soon as I kind of get more accomplished and more done with the writing. So
Well, that sounds like fun. And when that does come around, when it is closer to release time, we would probably have you on again where you could talk about it.
yeah,
Uh,
I would love to do that. Yeah.
so you did say that you review movies, so I'll start with an easy question. What's your favorite movie of all time?
Oh, geez.
That's not an easy question.
Yeah, I mean, that's a deep question for me because I have so many favorite movies. But I mean, you could go the cliche, and people always say, "Oh, The Godfather." And for me, I reviewed The Godfather. I just saw it like a month and a half ago for the first time, and it was
Mhm.
good. Like I really enjoyed it. But for me, my favorite style of movie, it's weird. I have so many like different tastes, and it's like that with my music. It's like that with sports. Like I have so many different
That's
things.
fair.
I would call myself a jack of all trades, master of none, or however that saying goes. But I think that for me, I love Star Wars, so Empire Strikes Back is up there for me.
Okay. Yep.
Also, for a kind of sentimental reason, I love Perks of Being a Wallflower. I know that's kind of like a different kind of style of
Hey,
movie.
Pittsburgh movie.
Yeah, big Pittsburgh
Yeah.
movie. Yeah. So those are the two that I love, and then I mean, just you could like list off like so many different things. Like Shawshank Redemption is a
Yes.
fantastic film, just like perfect, like all the way through. So I mean, I could talk like hours and hours, but for me right now, just like thinking about it, those are like the top three that probably stand out. But there's like so many that I could talk about. But that's kind of why I did the Field These Flicks thing, so I could talk about so many different genres of movies
Hmm.
and then kind of just get into like so many different things and relate to other people's interests. So one person could like, I did Whiplash. Someone could like music sort of movie kind of style, or someone could like The Godfather, like a mob movie. There's so many different choices. So
I just watched The Irishman on Netflix, which
I
is
haven't seen that.
it is extremely long. It is like 3 hours and 30 minutes, and it just so happened that my dad and I had enough time on our hands that we could sit down for that long and watch it. Acting is excellent. Just it's basically like you're watching a book, um, because the story that is told is super in depth, and like no detail is spared. Like all of the interactions, like I mean, there's cuts, of course, but like all of the interactions are fully played out, and like every event, there's no skipping around or anything. Like the whole thing happens. Like every word is said. But the characters feel unbelievably real. Um, and if you want to see some great acting, watch it. But it is 3 hours and 30 minutes,
Yeah.
which is just a long time to sit and watch one thing happen.
Yeah. I actually, it's funny because I get so many recommendations from my friends and family, and now that's on my list. That's one of them on the list. But honestly, I have over 40 movies and TV shows that I have on my list of things to watch, and that
There's so
people,
many you can watch.
yeah, that people have recommended to me and want me to review and talk about. And it got to the point where I was like, okay, I have to kind of stop what I'm doing because I wanted to make other videos. I wanted to make videos on like The Last Dance. I wanted to talk about The Last Dance. So there were some pressing things. I love the Clone Wars, Star Wars, the Clone Wars. I wanted to
Oh,
make a
it's
video on that.
great.
Yeah,
Oh, it's great. I watched all of it so fast.
yeah, it's
It's
so good.
fabulous. People shy away from it because it's like a cartoon and it's like a kids thing. It's really not. It's
Yeah,
surprisingly like
yeah,
not like violent, but it's surprisingly like intense for a children's show that was on Cartoon Network forever.
yeah. It's my
Um,
favorite era of Star Wars.
it's great.
You can't go wrong with it.
It's
So
and you can't and it holds a lot of important information, particularly once you get further and further into it. Like you learn a lot that was missing between episodes 2 and 3, and it kind of fills in some gaps. And it's all very interesting. So, and the characters are great, and a lot of them you only get to see in that show.
yeah,
So, no,
yeah.
I love the Clone Wars.
Yeah, so that's really good. And so I wanted to make kind of videos that were kind of relevant and then kind of go back and watch all these movies and sort of pick and choose what I want to review and what I don't. Because since there's so many things, like it's just physically impossible for me to A, watch all these movies, B, take the time to review them. Because for me, I'm always like a perfectionist when I want to make these videos, and I critique myself so hard, which is probably not a good thing, but I'm very, meticulous with what I edit and what I do, and that's sort of changing as I get better at YouTube. And so like this list is like just always like over my shoulder, like looking at all the things that I have to watch. And then not only that, but write this script and work on this project. So like it's a lot of things going on. So I'm kind of just taking the time and just relaxing, and then maybe reviewing a movie once in a while. I'm thinking like Good Will Hunting or something like that.
I was gonna ask, what's your next one that you're planning on reviewing that you're
Yeah,
excited about?
hopefully Good Will Hunting in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, I have to see that too. I know a lot of people are probably like, "Oh my gosh, you haven't seen Good Will Hunting,"
Yeah,
but I have. Yeah, I
yeah, that's the next one, and then but that's gonna be probably in the next couple weeks. I'm gonna make a couple different videos and then kind of post that. But yeah, it's just a matter of finding the right time to kind of film them, do all that work, and then kind of post it when it's the right time, I guess.
yeah, I've been on a Christopher Nolan kick with a lot of my movies lately. I
So
just
good.
watched Memento. I don't know if you've seen Memento. It was
No.
crazy. I'm excited for Tenet to come out.
Mhm.
Tenet looks insane, and then of course I want to rewatch Inception because Inception's so good.
Yeah, my family and I just watched The Prestige. I don't know if you've seen
Yeah,
it.
I just watched The Prestige too. It started. I like for some reason I think I saw something on TikTok. It was some guy like ranking Christopher Nolan's best movies, and he had The Prestige and Memento on there. And The Prestige was more of like a family movie, so I watched it with my whole family. And that one was awesome.
Yeah.
And then I moved into Memento, and that was like one of his first movies, and that's really crazy if you want to like
Mhm. Yeah,
a
I haven't seen
twister
that
of a
one.
story.
Yeah,
Um,
but he's probably my second, if not probably honestly might be my favorite filmmaker. I love
yeah.
also Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright's also up there for me. I love like Baby Driver,
Mm,
Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Those
Baby
movies
Driver, you can't go any better than the soundtrack.
are so good. Yeah, so those two guys probably right now are my two favorite filmmakers. Chris Nolan's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Garrett, since you made it sound like it was such an easy question, what's your favorite movie then?
Oh, see, yeah, I asked it as a joke because it's not. It's an impossible question. Just like, what's your favorite song, or band, or color, or food? Um, I, uh, let's see. Recently, out of the movies that I've watched recently, which would be like basically during quarantine, I would say Django Unchained
Mm.
was very good. Um, and so that's probably my favorite movie that I've watched during quarantine. Um, Favorite movie of all time though. This is really stupid. But I love Anchorman so much.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah, Anchorman's the best. So, like, I mean, of course, like you said, Andrew, you'd have to separate it into genres or whatever. But like, if I wanted to like sit down and just enjoy a movie, I probably would put on Anchorman because I could watch that 1,000 times and it would never get old. Or Monty Python and the Holy Grail, also could watch all the time. Because once again, there's no comedically, I don't know if there's a more perfect movie than Monty Python and the Holy Grail. So those two, and then favorite movie recently that I could think of that I've watched would be Django Unchained. Was awesome. So Derek, how about you?
Favorite
Better answer.
movies. So I used to work at a movie theater, and I remember
Give it a short list,
that.
maybe?
So when I worked at the movie theater, we had name tags, and they wanted the name tags to be more in depth than just our names. So on it, we had to put
Yes.
our favorite actor, favorite whatever else, and favorite movie. And for the life of me, I sat there for about 20 minutes trying to think of what I wanted to say my favorite movie was, and I
That's a
couldn't.
big thing. Like, people will judge you heavily for what you put there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So, that's not an easy
I
question.
literally just put the Star Wars series, like all of them.
That's fair.
That was my cop out answer.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, Star Wars would be my favorite series. But as far as individual movie goes, I can't pick just one of those. I would probably say like, I just watched The Wolf of Wall Street again yesterday. That
Oh,
one's very good.
yeah.
I'm a big fan
That's
of
another one.
I'm a huge fan of 42 with Chadwick Boseman.
Yes.
I think that one's a bit slept on from time to time, but I mean, Anchorman is probably my favorite comedy movie.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, you made me think of The Big Short too. The Big Short's also a really good movie. I I thought of that when you said Wolf of Wall Street. That's a great one as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the Wolf of Wall Street because it's got that little mix of comedy and like a real aspect to it, and it's just crazy.
So
And
You can't go wrong with DiCaprio. I mean, he's
no, you can't. Oh, The Revenant. Oh, wait, I watched The Revenant during quarantine too. Oh, wait a second.
another good one.
Now I have The Revenant and Django Unchained competing for the best movie that I watched during. That's a tough competition.
Yeah, it is.
but the best made for TV series that we've watched during quarantine has got to be Outer Banks because that was so good. Come on.
I told you I'm with you. I'm with you on your love for Outer Banks. I watched it the first couple days it came out. I think I was watching another show and I saw it pop up on my suggested list, and I was like, "What is this show? Like, what the heck?" And I watched the preview because that's what always gets me on Netflix when I watch the preview, and then I'm like, "All right, I'm hooked." And that's also another thing. Not only the preview, so like the trailer kind of bit, but the first episode, the pilot is so important for so many reasons because with today's, viewership and how people consume media, it's really difficult to kind of catch someone's attention. You really
There's so much you can watch. There's so much.
There's so many choices. So for a show to be like, okay, this is why you should watch our stuff, it's difficult because people have such a short attention span nowadays. You really have to reel them in the first episode or even before that, in the beginning of that first episode, so that they're engaged throughout the whole show. And for me, I was so invested into what happened in Outer Banks, and I just really loved it all the way through. I think it got better and better as the show went on. So that's what a good show should do. It should kind of hook you in and then kind of introduce you to what's going on and then take you on that ride and keep getting more intense and keep getting more interesting. And that's what Outer Banks did. And that's what I found so interesting about it. And that's why I liked it. A lot of people are really happy about it with the reviews and stuff like that. Some people don't like it, and that goes to show that no show is perfect. But for me, and I know you guys really liked it, so I'm a big fan of the show, and I can't wait until they come out of quarantine and start working on season 2, to be honest.
Yeah, if there's any show that knew how to rope you in, it was Outer Banks. They pulled no stops in terms of making it addicting. I mean, we would sit down there for, I think it took us like 4 nights as a family to finish it, but like my mom, who doesn't watch much TV at all, was like excited to watch like 80 minutes of Outer, because we'd watch 2 episodes every night. So it probably took us like 5 nights. And we would it would be like, as soon as dinner was done, it's Outer Banks time. We sit in the basement and watch 2 episodes because it was so important, because you could not pull yourself away. There was no chance.
I mean,
there was no shot.
Yeah. I was the same way because I watched all 10 episodes within 24 hours.
Yeah. If it was just me, I wouldn't have stopped watching. Right. Yeah. The only reason it took me that long is because I was watching with my family, and like they weren't willing to sit down and just watch the whole show at one time, but I would have stopped everything. And
that's so crazy with how like TV and with like Netflix and all the streaming services, how everything's changed now with everyone just binging stuff. Derek, just binging it in a day. I pretty much did almost the same thing, and I stayed up till like 5 a.m. like watching. Yeah. Like, what am I doing? But, like, it's just like you're so like invested, and you want to see everything. Whereas like traditional TV, like coming out on like the platforms like FX or whatever, they would just release an episode 1 a week or something like that. Like with Clone Wars, they did the same thing on Disney Plus. They released 1 a week. And
that was tough.
Yeah.
So last season, that was tough to wait.
So you could look at it both ways. You could be like, okay, well, I want all of it now. But then also with each week, the anticipation builds. So like, I mean, I'm a fan of both, but like I do kind of like having the entire show there to watch it, so you can just kind of go right through it.
Same with The Mandalorian too. Like that was one I was like, come on. I was like, a week? You want me to wait 7 days to watch another episode? Are you joking?
Yeah, it's kind of tough, but I mean that's how TV was back in the day.
Yeah.
If you want, but, I mean that's traditionally how it was viewed, but now with everything going on today, everyone just expects it to be there on a silver platter for them. So, I mean, I like both ways, but it was just so fun to watch. I just love that show. So,
yeah. So I feel like we can't talk about TV and movies without talking about The Office. So what are your, like, as a critic, what are your thoughts on The Office? Because I know some people, it's like, it's the only show they ever have on. I love the jokes on Twitter that are like, watching The Office is not a personality. I mean, I loved it. I've watched it twice through. But yeah, what are your thoughts on it?
So for me, actually, it's kind of funny. My mom and my brother watched the show without me.
Okay.
That was like their thing, you know. I was playing sports and they were watching The Office. So I kind of felt left out, and I was like, I, this was like, you know, well after its run and the show
Hmm.
already ended. So, but it got revitalized when it came to Netflix and all the streaming services, and now everyone knows it from that. But they watched that together, and I was like, okay, well, it sounds pretty good. Like I saw bits and pieces and kind of knew what was going on. But my freshman year of college, so 2017, 2 years ago, seems so long. But yeah, I binged
Yeah.
the whole show in like probably a span of not like maybe like a few weeks, so like not too long, but um, it probably didn't help my grades. I can tell you that
Yeah.
much. But it was just like such a cool experience. Like I love the show. I've seen it all. I've also seen it a couple times. I cried at the end.
Oh,
I'm
so
not.
did I. I'm a big movie crier. We can talk
Yeah.
about that after you finish
Oh
this.
yeah. I'm not afraid to admit that, but you know, it was just such a kind of journey to go on. And then when you're at the end, it's like, oh my God, you know? And I personally have so many favorite moments from that show. It is a different type. It's a specific type of humor that
Hmm.
if you're not kind of with it, then I get that. But I think it appeals to the majority of people in terms of that humor. And it's something out of the blue. My mom always would say is that she says I look like John Krasinski, but I don't agree with that. She always would say like you look like Jim from The Office, and I'm like, no, I don't. I actually was 3 Hole Punch Jim for Halloween one year, and that costume didn't
That's a
really get a
solid
lot.
costume.
Yeah, didn't get a lot of reactions, but you know that's it's whatever. But yeah, I kind of do the Jim face. I kind of go like I don't know. Sometimes like I kind of like frown and like pretend like I'm looking at the camera and
Oh,
break with
yeah.
wall.
Don't you? Yeah, you have to love just looking out. Like if you're looking at a camera as if someone was
Yeah,
filming your whole life, you're like,
that's what I do when like something like goes wrong because I feel like I'm a
yeah.
pretty unlucky person and like I just am like always something's just like not going right. And the other day like something happened and I just was like, why? Like why does this happen? I kind of just look out and just I kind of like laugh and that so like I do that a lot, so I can see why she would say that. But I love the show. It's great and um, are they taking it off Netflix? Are they moving?
I think so. I think next year, maybe. I thought it was gonna happen sooner, and because I heard like rumors, and everyone was like, ah, that
Yeah,
exact noise. But
yeah.
yeah, I don't know when it's happening. But yeah, I know it wasn't really. I mean, it was popular when it first came out, but it ended in 2013. So like, it really started popping again later. Because I remember like, I would when I was like, 6, it would be on. Like my dad would watch it at night because it came out in 2005, and like I wouldn't watch it because it was an adult show at the
Yeah.
time. And then years later I watched it too. So
Oh yeah, it's a great show.
um, what was
I'm
it?
gonna stay silent.
Yeah, Derek doesn't like it. Derek has some. We know Derek has some hot takes.
Eric does have some
So
hot takes. That's very true.
The Office is one of those hot takes because the short
it has to be
story.
shared. Go ahead.
The short answer with me is that I'm not one who really enjoys comedy by myself. I like if I'm watching a comedy movie, a comedy show, or stand up, I want to be with a group of people because like that's the only way I feel like I'll get the full effect. Yeah, if I'm watching a comedy movie, I'm not sitting alone in my bedroom like crying of laughter. That's just not something that happens to me. So, I feel like The Office would be way funnier if I watched the whole thing with other people, but alas, I just didn't find any enjoyment watching it myself. And after like halfway through season 3, I just turned it off and never had the desire to turn it on again because I just wasn't enjoying it.
Derek needs the right environment to enjoy comedy.
I mean,
Yeah. You like I said, you talked about you cried at the end, right? I said I'm a huge movie crier, like the worst actually. Like it's actually quite embarrassing, particularly if I'm watching something alone, and it's like it's not really a spot where because it's not sad a lot of the time when I cry. Like if I see something really heroic, sometimes I'll start to tear up. I'm like, what's going on? Stop. You're alone in your room and you're crying about, I don't know, the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
What is going on? But I do. Doesn't matter if it's once again, I thought of more movies. I thought of Saving Private Ryan, Hacksaw Ridge. Also two fabulous movies.
Yeah.
Cried at those. That makes more sense. War movies, right? But then I cried at like the end of Onward. Which was like it was a good Pixar movie. It wasn't the best one ever.
Yeah, I would say it's like middle of the pack. Yeah,
but yeah, it's definitely a middle of the pack Pixar movie. But I still cried.
Yeah,
Cried everything on the screen, man. I don't know what it is. I cry. I hope your short series makes me cry. If it doesn't make me cry once, that's okay. But if you make me cry, I will comment and I'll say you made me cry.
Hey, I'm gonna go at it with the objective of making you cry.
Okay, good. You said there were some serious parts. Maybe I'll cry from laughter, sadness, anger, perhaps.
I mean, we'll see.
Anger.
Wait and see.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever cried because I was so angry in a movie. Just Mercy made me angry.
Really?
If you've seen it made me angry. Like, Just Mercy was very good.
Gotcha.
Yeah, also the I don't know. I don't know. Is this a spoiler? I don't know. There's a scene on Death Row that's quite emotional. I definitely cried during that.
Yeah.
That movie made me mad.
It's about Bryan Stevenson, right?
What?
Bryan Stevenson? It's about Bryan Stevenson?
I
think so, right? Yeah, he came to Penn State and talked. I think that was what Michael B. Jordan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was excellent. Another one. Now that we're talking movies, I just keep thinking of movies. I'm sorry if I'm talking too much here, but also Hotel Mumbai. Have you ever seen Hotel Mumbai?
No, I haven't.
So
I haven't heard of
that movie, neither had I. I didn't even know it happened, right? So Hotel Mumbai is
I know what it's based off of.
Yeah.
I've just not seen the movie.
Yeah, I didn't even know that this happened. It was like a huge terrorist attack in Mumbai, India.
Wow.
And it made me so angry. Because the bad guys in that movie sucked. They were really mean people. And it made me so, and if you ever watch, I highly recommend it. It's another really good one because it's intense the whole time. And it's like, it's based on a true story and you like watch it. And the fact that it's based on a true story is just the worst. You're like, this happened in real life. That's crazy. Because like one of the big things is Mumbai didn't have like a special forces unit that was able to deal with like a terrorist incident. So they held this hotel that they attacked for 15 hours. There were like 5 dudes untrained with like AK-47s, and they held a whole hotel for 15 hours because it took that long for the unit from New Delhi to fly to Mumbai to take back the hotel. And that is a excellent movie. Again, I watched that during quarantine. I've watched a lot of movies.
That one, all have.
Yeah, that one is one that like I was physically upset like the whole time. Like I like grabbed a pillow and was like squeezing it the whole time because I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is real and this is the worst. And it's very well done. So again, if you want a movie that'll make you just get ready to get angry when you watch it because you're like,
I think there's one movie you haven't mentioned that for me, when I think of like crying movies, that's the one that pops in my head. It's Coco.
Marley and Me.
Or Marley and Me.
Coco. Coco, I cried so much.
Yeah.
Coco was excellent, and I cried a lot.
That Disney movie that came out like 2 years ago?
Yes. Don't call it that Disney movie.
Derek, it's sad.
I never watched that. Isn't it like PG?
Yeah.
Yes.
That doesn't matter.
And it's sad?
Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad.
Marley and Me is also very sad.
Marley and Me is the only movie I've ever cried over because, spoiler alert, they kill the golden retriever at the end. And it's
at this point, if you haven't seen Marley and Me, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
You came out way too long.
And A Dog's Purpose or A Dog's Journey or whatever that's called.
I refuse to watch that one.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but my mom had it on. It was on TV a couple weeks ago. My mom was watching it. I'm like, why are you watching this? You have a 10-year-old dog that I'm not gonna is on it. You know, he's on the edge of his life. You know, he's
playing the back nine.
You know, he's got a couple years left. But why are you watching that? You know, I don't want to think about it right now.
I have never seen it. I refuse to ever watch Marley and Me again because there's no reason to. I don't need to go through that. But they showed A Dog's Purpose. I was on a cruise ship. And they were showing it as the movie that you watch, like, well, you all sit in the pool? And I was like walking the upper deck, and I turn around and I see them like some dog gets like put down, and I'm like standing on the top deck of a cruise ship crying by myself, like trying not to. I like look out onto the massive expanse that is the ocean, like so that nobody sees that I'm crying real tears by myself, because I turned right as a dog was dying, as people were like watching it sitting in a pool drinking a pina colada. I was like, you're sickos. Whoever chose to play this movie on a cruise ship is a sicko. And the fact that I just had to see that while just staring at the massive expanse, because you like look out at the ocean, you're like, oh, it's so huge, is what life, and you just freak out for a second, and everything's so sad for a minute. And then I was better, because then I like went and got like the unlimited ice cream. But like, yeah, man, I don't know why they showed that on a cruise ship, but that was the worst. So yeah, I cry all the time in movies. So if you ever watch a movie with me, I will cry probably, unless if it's Anchorman or.
I don't know. Anchorman
Monty,
might make you cry laughing.
I didn't cry Monty Python and the Holy Grail either, so that's good.
Not even from laughter.
Vacation. I've probably cried once, like with the Black Knight scene. I've probably cried from laughter during that.
That's an incredible scene.
That is a great scene.
Tis but a scratch.
Yeah.
Your legs off.
All right, we'll call it a draw.
All right, I'll bite your legs off. Oh man, that is wow. Yeah, that's such a good movie. I don't know how they pulled that one off.
The funniest part about Monty Python and the Holy Grail is that the budget on it is such crap
That's
that
what
they
I'm
just
saying.
make fun of it the whole time.
That's why.
Because they couldn't afford horses for their actors, so they follow behind people skipping with coconuts.
That's why it's such.
Against each other.
That's why it's such true comedic genius, because they just took it and ran with it. They were like, we have no money for this movie, and we're gonna make fun of it the whole time. I might go watch that right after this. It's too good to not watch.
I think the funniest part of Monty Python and the Holy Grail is that obviously there's that bunny that ends up getting covered in
the killer rabbit
blood,
Yep.
but they put permanent dye on the rabbit and it was red for the rest of its life.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There's your fun fact for Monty Python.
That poor rabbit had to watch. He was red forever after the movie.
You hate to see it. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know what they poured on him, but it was permanent.
The holy hand grenade of Antioch.
Yeah.
I think the farmer that they like took it from wasn't very happy.
I wouldn't blame him. He had a sweet white rabbit that was returned blood red for the rest of its life. Like, oops, sorry.
We tried to hose your rabbit off, sir, and it just didn't come off.
It's not coming off forever. He's like, what? Ever? Yeah, never, man. You have to shave the rabbit. Maybe they could have shaved the rabbit. I don't know if that works. I've never had to shave a rabbit. I wouldn't want to see a shaved rabbit though.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
A shaved rabbit. Any animal without fur freaks me out though. So I guess
That's
we're
fair.
kind of animals without fur. So people should freak me out. But
I don't know. Fieldy's got the beard.
he does have the beard.
I do have the
Yeah, I'm trying, but it's way too patchy for me. Derek's not bad.
Yeah.
Derek's working on it. I get a weird mustache. And like a goatee.
That's a little weird. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
it is a little weird. I agree.
But there's a blessing and a curse with the beard. Right now, I honestly I'm contemplating chopping it off because it's so humid and hot out right now that when I go out and I'm like working or landscaping or doing anything, like it just becomes so annoying, and it's like I don't even know why I have it half the time, other than like when it's in the winter, it's like it's fine. But right now, usually this is when it comes off. But quarantine, you got the long hair going. Haven't had my hair cut.
That's right.
It's since December, I think. So, which is that's pretty long time for me. So I'm riding the mane out. That's why I wear a lot of hats. So a lot of people who see me wear a lot of hats and say, oh, why are you always wearing a hat, or why are you wearing this? Well, it's because my hair is super long and it's like so curly and all over the place that I got to keep it contained. I can't let it fly all the time. Sometimes if you're out on a boat or something, or doing something like that, then yeah, let it go. But for me, it's just
Yeah. Plus you would steal so many guys, ladies that like you have to wear a hat. You contain the mane so that you don't steal their women.
I mean,
At least that's why I wear a hat. Because, like, there'd be so much danger involved if I didn't wear a hat that it's for the good of it's a sacrifice that I'm willing to make
well,
wearing a hat.
this is called overly confident, so I do.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
It's because we say stuff like that.
Oh, you thought that was overly confident? You thought that was overly confident of me? What, you don't believe me that if I took off my hat, I would steal everybody's woman?
Hey.
That's why you're keeping it on. If there's any girls watching that are
Yeah.
that'll be suddenly interested in Garrett
Yeah.
when he takes the hat off.
Don't show your girlfriend's
be-
overly confident if Garrett doesn't have a hat on.
You can be next week's guest. If
I'm just
that's the
kidding.
case.
I'm just kidding. It's really because my hair can look really stupid almost all the time. So I just keep a hat on. Freshman year, I was known, I didn't really talk to many people on my floor, but I was known as tall kid with the hat, which didn't make any sense because I wasn't even the tallest of my one other roommate. Because he's like Reachwan's like 6 feet tall. So I don't know why I was called tall kid with the hat because I wasn't really taller than many people because I'm 5'10". That's pretty average. I'm not going to be overly confident about my height. That'd be foolish. You could measure it with a ruler. So yeah, but I just wore a hat all the time, and now I have lots of hats. Not as many as our previous guest, Braden, who has over 100. I don't have that many
and
hats.
changed hats every 3 minutes throughout the entire show.
Yes, we didn't record
And that
it,
was
but we
before our
should've.
video episodes.
Yeah, we should have recorded it because he did in fact change hats every like 3 minutes. Yeah, I love a good hat. I don't know about you guys. I love a good hat though.
Hey,
You know, and like
Yeah.
I went through a weird fedora phase though. Ooh, ooh, boo.
This is the first this is being talked about on the podcast.
Yeah, it wasn't when I was a grown person. It was when I was in like 5th grade, middle school.
It was middle school. It was
Ugh,
sixth
I thought
grade. There
fedoras
was
were
a fedora phase.
oh, I'm shrinking in my chair right now at the
You were
mere
that kid,
thought.
yeah.
I was that kid.
You're that kid.
Yeah, I
Alright.
thought they were
And
gross.
you would wear them to our dances in like his like button down and collared shirt.
Oh,
It-
please,
but I mean,
please
to
stop.
be fair,
I can't believe I brought this up.
everybody really liked the fedora.
That's true for some reason. I think it was
For
a
some
pity.
reason.
They were
Mhm.
pitying me. They
Well,
were like,
at that
"No, it's
time, fedoras weren't frowned upon.
It's true. I got out of there.
People
I
were
got
just
out
like,
of there right
"Why
there.
is he wearing a funky hat? I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I-
steal it."
Yeah, I
and
got
put
out
it
of there
on
at the
my own
right
head.
time. You know, if I had kept it going any longer, I would have had to change schools, man.
Yeah.
But luckily, I got out of there. Most people probably forgot about it because who was really paying attention in middle school? I wish I could wear cowboy hats. That's something I wish I could wear, but I am not built like a cowboy
Why?
because they're sweet, dude. A quality cowboy
You're from
hat.
the Northeast. You
That's
would
what I'm
be
saying, I
the
can't-
only person
That's what
around
I'm
wearing
saying.
a cowboy hat.
That's what I'm saying. I can't wear one, but I'd love to be able to. That's why our friend Fino, who we're probably gonna have on the show sometime, he's all about that cowboy life. He wants some boots, some boot cut jeans. He's a real thick fella, not fat. He's just built. Anyway, he would look great in a cowboy hat. I wish I could pull a cowboy hat off like that. I wish it was appropriate to wear here. He wants to move to Texas where it's very appropriate. Like a big, well, I don't know about the big belt buckle thing. I feel like that'd look real weird on me. But just a good quality cowboy hat. Like spend some money on that bad boy, and you wear it for the rest of your life. Yeah, it sees everything, man. You know, you have so much respect for cowboys in movies, and I don't know, I just admire their hats. I've also worn like those, like the Peaky Blinders hat, like the real floppy kind of.
Scully
I
cap.
wore one. Yeah, whatever. What are they called?
I think Scully caps or something. I don't know. If I'm
Something. Yeah, something like that. I've worn those before. I have one that I would wear when I would golf, but now my head's too big for it. So maybe I should get another one of those. What do you think, Derek? Should I get one of those to wear on the golf course?
I think you should get the Sherlock Holmes hat to wear on the golf course.
Oh, that'd be like with the floppy side
The floppy
things.
sides, the double brim.
Yeah, dude, there's so many hats you could wear. Hats are great. Hats and glasses are great accessories. No, they
Yeah, but
are.
glasses are so stupidly expensive. I didn't ask
yeah.
to be blind.
No, that's true. Those are unfair. They should be free.
Yes. My insurance will cover my contacts for like 2 months. And then the other 10 months, I guess my vision magically heals. And then it's back to 2020 without any help.
Oh, wow. This hat would
Dishing
look,
out the cash so I can see. So dumb.
yeah. You're like, oh, sorry. My eyes don't work. I can't believe Jameis Winston had to get LASIK
Gosh,
eye
it's
surgery.
painful.
I don't know about LASIK. Anyone else? How about you, Andrew? Do you have 20/20 vision?
I do. I'm the only
Ugh.
in my family that has 20/20 vision.
You lucky duck. I
I-
can't imagine that life. I don't have my contacts in right now. It's not that bad. My vision's not terrible, and it hasn't changed, so I'm not getting more blind. That's nice. Knock on wood. Don't want to get more blind, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fear with me for LASIK is all those horror stories of it going wrong.
Well,
Even
yeah,
though
dude.
those
They
are
like,
like rare, but
yeah. I mean,
it
they like
terrifies
peel.
me.
Yeah, they like peel a layer of your eye back with a laser. You
Mhm.
joking? You know how crazy that is? Shooting lasers into your eyes.
Yeah.
So as much
and
as and it's super expensive too, because it's not like I don't think it's like a necessary. It's like an elective surgery. So
Mhm.
it's like, yeah, it's like kind of plastic. It's kind of plastic surgery, but for your eyeballs. And yeah, man, that's scary. Shooting lasers in my eyes? No, thank you. None of that.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure your eye never like actually heals from it. So like when you open your eye to do that, it never like fully seals back.
Yeah. Oh.
So like it can be reopened and stuff,
Oh.
which is unbearably painful apparently. So
I can imagine.
why I will never do it. I will stick to contacts.
Yeah, I would.
And,
Yeah,
or until a
contacts.
different way is around.
Yeah. So Andrew, you are blessed, sir, with 20/20 vision.
I feel blessed. I'll tell you that right now.
Yes. Yes.
Wait, are both of your parents 2020?
No, they're not.
Yeah, he said he's the
How
only
did
one
you
in his
get lucky?
family. I don't know. He hit the genetic lottery, man.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but yeah, they both wear glasses. They both have prescription, and my brother also has prescription as well. So yeah, I'm the only one.
Your time is coming
Wow.
eventually.
Someday.
Someday, but not now. Not now. His eyes are free.
Yep.
He can go anywhere. That's the best part, right? Like you could go sleep anywhere and not have to worry about bringing your contact solution.
Yeah.
You know,
It
well, I
must
also
be
have.
nice to wake up and immediately be able to see everything.
Yeah, that has to be crazy. You're like, oh, nice. Instead, Derek and I are like, what is going on around me? I'm like, I can't read that billboard or something. I don't know where I'm waking up that there's a billboard around me.
I was just talking about it. So I got my first pair of glasses in March of 5th grade. And the only reason I remember that is because I was during March Madness. And I remember sitting on my couch, dumbfounded that I could read the scoreboard while the game was
Oh,
going
that's
on.
adorable. That's so
I
cute.
never thought that was possible until I got
I can imagine a
glasses.
small Derek just smiling so wide that he can now read the score of the basketball game that's on TV. What a heartfelt image. And I think on that image, we will go ahead and wrap this episode up. So thank you, Andrew, so much for coming on. I'm excited for your short series. I hope it makes me cry a lot. Because it really won't be that hard. Like put like one heroic act in there, one instance of self-sacrifice, or someone being reunited with somebody they haven't seen for a while, or an emotional death, and I'm gonna cry. So really, if you put any of those things in there, tears will be shed. So I wish you the best of luck with that, and continue your excellent movie reviews. So if anyone's listening wants to go check out some of Andrew's opinions on movies, Andrew, go ahead and plug your channel one more time.
Yeah, it's just Andrew Field. Search it up on YouTube. Yeah, I have a small blog, but I kind of do that on the side. So that's Fieldy Sports Talk as well, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, slam that subscribe button to support a fellow creator. Thank you so much for listening to episode 10 of Overly Confident, and we will see you next week.
Adios.